Hi traders, welcome to this gold technical outlook. Today I'm going to be taking a look obviously at the price of gold, but what are the fundamentals surrounding it? Where could prices of gold go to? That's what I'm going to be taking a look at in this technical outlook video. So whenever I look at a market, I always want to break it down into sort of three sections. I want to look at the news surrounding that market, what news is going to be affecting it if I'm going to take positions in the market, strength and weakness analysis, and the conditions of that market. So coming from a news point of view, this is the news as of today. So today is the 3rd of April 2024. So I'm looking at basically what data affects gold, and it's going to be US dollar based data, and this is the US dollar based data out for today. We have some really important stuff coming up. Actually, we've got Fed member speeches, we've got Bostic and Bowman speaking, and we also have the Federal Reserve chairman speaking, Jerome Powell. That's going to really impact what happens with the US dollar. Obviously gold is impacted by what happens in the US, so that's going to be something to take note of. You know, at the moment there is this whole debate: are the Fed going to cut? Are they not going to cut? Is the information that is, or the data that's coming out, actually starting to put doubts in investors' mind of what the amount of cuts that are going to occur from the Federal Reserve? That's going to cause some uncertainty in the market. That is also helping fuel this gold prices at the moment. I mean, gold is rallying despite the US dollar rallying at the moment, so that's something we also have to take into consideration. My strength and weakness analysis for gold is going to include a couple of different things. It's going to include the COT reports, and what I have here at the moment is obviously a weekly chart of gold with COT positions and the COT index on as well. COT positions not really changed that much, despite the fact that we have gold prices have risen quite substantially. Non-commercials have remained fairly flat, and so have commercials. What I would really like to see, if I was going to see a top in a market, is that non-commercials were continuing to trade with the trend, because that's what they essentially do. And I want to see commercial positions selling aggressively, because they're in the business of gold, and as price rises they would want to sell more because they would be able to get more for their product. So I would be expecting, if we were to see a top in this gold price, that commercial would be selling more aggressively, non-commercials would be buying more aggressively as well as the trend continues. So we're not seeing that. So is there a top forming essentially in gold right now? I don't think so. I actually think this is very the information that we're seeing from COT reports is very, very bullish at the moment. Okay, so that's what I would say from COT perspective. Gold futures from a seasonal perspective. Now, seasonal analysis can change when it comes to election years, and you know, we are coming into an election year right now, but just going to highlight sort of April of this. Right now, typically we can see a sort of rally at the beginning of April till sort of early mid-April, where we can see a little bit of a top in the market. So essentially gold typically is bullish throughout the year. It is a market that does tend to remain bullish. So again, is this a little bit of a bullish signal right now on gold? The fact that the seasonal analysis suggests that there's usually a run, and this is a 20-year range since 2023. Okay, so bullish on the seasonals. And the COT reports. Conditions. What are the conditions surrounding this market at the moment? So what I have here right now is the weekly chart. What I tend to look for in this is, are we in an uptrend, downtrend, or a range? That helps us obviously to determine what the market is talking about. Very, very clear. We're in an upward trend. The market is making clear swing highs and swing low, higher lows in this occasion, and we're breaching through key areas of support and resistance. We've recently breached the sort of 29.92 spot 50 highs that formed. The market is very much in a bullish mode here. We're continuing to push to the upside. Now, there is no real clear targets for gold at the moment. All we can kind of do is maybe look at some technical indicators that may help us. Now, obviously, indicators are lagging behind price. Price will make the move first. But what I've got on here is actually a stochastic that you can see on the bottom. I like using stochastics from higher time frame perspectives. Now, what I like to do is kind of highlight when price kind of slowed down or turned slightly bearish. What did we see from the stochastic? Obviously, price made a huge weekly bearish move there. Stochastic pushed lower. The market pushed sideways here, slowed down a little bit. Not seeing that right here right now, are we? We're pretty much more in a bullish mode. If I was to draw kind of a similar area of the stochastic and where stochastics are now in terms of price, then I can see that price continued to push higher. So again, very bullish at the moment, price continuing to the upside here. If we started to see maybe a rounding effect and the sort of K line starts to cross below the signal line, then there could be sort of an idea that we are going to start to push to the downside, or at least the market moving sideways at that point. So again, uptrend being developed, stochastics still very bullish here as well. So gold really is bullish at the moment, and not to suggest that it isn't. You know, it's very clear to see that it is, but it's good to have some backup by looking at some other ideas surrounding the market. So if all those conditions are met, what should we be doing as traders? Well, we should be following the overall trend of the market. This is a H1 time frame of gold. We've recently breached highs at 22.64. I've got alerts set down here because I think this could be a good area for buyers to maybe try and step back into the market. I've got confluence with a trend line support. I have anchor formation point in here, so there's a good confluence with that. I've also got the 50 moving average around this point as well. What I would like to see is stochastics maybe start to turn as well. That could obviously add a little bit more confluence to the idea that price could start pushing back to the upside here. If we breach back below this area, my next level of support would be down towards 22.32, and that could be another area where buyers do look to come back into the market. We do have strong dollar data today. Volatility from that can kind of cause price to maybe break through levels that are relatively close to price, and that's something I'll be watching going into today's market. So that's my take on gold. I think the market overall is very bullish at the moment. As a trader, I want to be looking for those markets that are trending, and is gold one of those that does have a potential to continue even higher? You can also look at sort of things like Fibonacci's, things like that, to kind of gauge where price could head to. But I think for now, what the sort of key thing to do is just target previous swing highs, and then maybe hold positions beyond that point. So thanks for watching the video update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. See you in the next video.